Watch me forget my question. This is a look. Yes, a look.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see them both. I'm not sure about you guys, but like,
I don't know who I'm voting for because they both lied to me.
It's so obvious. You guys are so bitter. Like, get over it.
I'm bitter towards both of them.
Are you saying for Dally, right?
Yeah.
I think Dally deserves it too.
Me too.
I agree.
But
I want to hear their speeches because they both play similar games to me.
I don't want to count Christian out though because I think Christian played really well, and I don't want to count him out.
I think they're both deserving equally, so it's not like we're voting for a bad winner.
Christian, no.
Ooh.
All right.
Mr. Social.
Wait, Dan, can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, everyone mute.
And get it on camera.
I'm just not gonna talk. I'm not gonna mute.
Same.
Yeah, we need to.
When I ask my question, can I get off camera?
I guess, but we want you on camera for your question.
What do you mean for my question? I gotta read a question.
Yeah, Dalton, it's like we think you're the weakest member of all in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go, you know.
Okay, I'm adding them. Y'all can say hi and stuff once they join, but once like the questions start,
I haven't talked to them in like 30 days. No, 20. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Are they here? I can't see anything.
Should we be nicer? Be like, get the fuck out of the way, bitch.
We have to beat them up with Jaya.
Yeah, right, Sophia Jaya.
Congratulations.
Hi.
All right.
You made it to the end, but only one of you will win.
Hi, Dally, my girlfriend.
Let me put them on the screen. Where they at?
I'm so mad I can't see.
Okay,
oh my god, Dally looks pretty.
We got all done up for this.
Did she get hotter in the Big Brother house? What?
I can't see her.
Justin. Hey, bitches. I miss y'all.
I love you both, by the way. I love you both so much.
What the fuck did y'all, Vic?
Okay, so we're gonna jump right into it. Jurors, please mute unless you're asking a question. The jury has came up with 6 questions to go in between y'all, and then afterwards James will get his own question. All right, so we are going to start off. Unless you're the final 2 or Justin, please mute and do not talk. All right, Justin, please ask the first question.
All right, my question is for Christian. Christian, my question is, what is one move you made in this game that was solely yourself and no one else behind you?
Okay.
Like your own move.
Yeah. Let's go back to... Honestly, probably like one of my own... I don't even... Honestly, I don't even care. So I would say that the move that I made on my own was probably when it was coming to the eviction with... Whose eviction was that?
True.
Honestly, this is hard. I'm really nervous. I don't know. I'd probably say the eviction where it was the eviction with Emily, where I made the move to send Emily home over whoever she was on the block next to because I saw it was better for my game. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Christian.
All right. Jaya, you're up.
Okay, this question is for Dally. What was the biggest move in the game that you made solely by yourself?
Okay, so we talk about doing these biggest moves and stuff and being by myself. What I'm going to tell you guys is that I didn't play this game by myself. I played it with my allies. Everything I did, I ran through them and stuff. Especially with Drew, we talked about absolutely everything, every single idea. So I can't sit here and take credit for one single move by myself because that just wouldn't be fair to all my allies who I worked with because they deserve the credit too. So I do think that I did things, and the move that I feel like I had a lot of influence in would probably be when Mike used the veto on Emily. He was pissed at her. I remember they were fighting a lot about this. I had both of them texting me. I had Emily telling me how much she hated him and how much she didn't want to talk to him. I had Mike telling me that he didn't want to use the veto on her anymore. So I made sure I spoke to him and I made sure that he knew, like, you have to do this because if I knew that if Emily stayed on the block that week, she would have been going home. I would have lost one of my closest allies in the game. I told her she had to talk to him and stuff. So I do feel I had a lot of influence in that move. There's also the fact when both Tia and Sophia were on the block on my HOHs, people came to me and asked me what I wanted to do and stuff, and I did vocalize that I wanted both of you guys out. People said that they're like, we don't mind if Dalton and Shia go out or if Sophia and Noah go out, so like what do you want to do and stuff. And I'm not going to take completely credit because I do feel like other people like had opinions about this and stuff, but I do feel like I had a lot of influence on both of those also.
Okay. Noah, you're up.
Okay, let me pull out my cute little card. Okay, my question is for Christian. Christian, what was your reasoning for evicting Drew over Dally?
Oh my god. So this is probably one of the toughest things I had to do in this whole game because they were part of my alliance of 4. Like, 2 of my closest people in this game, like 2 of my best friends that I've created in this game. But the reasoning to keeping Dally is because we knew, like, well, I knew that she could win comps better than Drew could. Like, not to throw shade or anything, like, but like she was like overall the better player that I saw, and I saw that working with her would be better because I knew she'd be the bigger target over Drew because I saw in this whole game that Drew could play this game without Dally, but Dally I don't think would do as well as she did without Drew, but obviously that was wrong because she's here in the final 2. But she was the better competitor, so she would be the bigger threat over Drew. So keeping her around would be better for me.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Dalton, you're up.
What's up, Dally?
Hi, Dalton.
The jury feels like you was the weakest member of All In and you didn't contribute besides physical comps. Could you tell us why you feel differently about that?
Okay, so the thing with All In, we can all agree that Dalton, me and you, we never got along before in games. Tia, we never got along either in games. So when we formed this alliance, obviously part of me was a little hesitant at first. It was hard for me to trust you guys right at the beginning because I wasn't sure like what would happen. I was like, are they using us? Are they not? As we got further along, I realized that I could trust you guys and I could tell you stuff, but part of me always felt like I had to not hold back in a way. I knew that you guys had my back and stuff. Like we were all in throughout the whole game. We made some moves together and stuff, and we were a huge alliance in this game. But I always felt as if I didn't want to say too. Sorry, someone's calling me. Stop calling me. Okay. I always felt like I didn't want to say too. Oh my gosh, I'm frozen now.
We can hear you.
Let me continue. With people, with my game and stuff, unless I 1,000% trust you, I hold back on the information. I rather than going out there being the loudest player, causing drama and stuff, that's not me. That's not how I play. Okay, so I'm the kind of person who I'll sit back, I'll take in the information, I'll figure out what I'm going to do from there. So yes, it seems like maybe I was the weakest player, but I do feel like I did contribute. I had social connections around, and I feel like that helped. My comp wins did help, but you said aside from comp wins and stuff, so I'm not going to bring that into it. I just feel like just because I didn't seem like the loudest player, it doesn't mean that I wasn't there, doesn't mean that I didn't do anything.
Okay. Emily, you're up.
Okay. My question is for Christian. Christian, your social game was praised all season, especially on day 1. Everyone was like, I love Christian, I love Christian. And you were immediately thrown into an 8-person Crazy 8's alliance, where like James, on the other hand, was more put into a bad position. Do you think that like your social connections were like more handed to you, or can you like explain how you specifically worked for them?
Honestly, I don't think they were handed to me because honestly, it's not because like the first alliance I was in was the Skype alliance. Like, you, Emily, you, Tyler, Ethan, and Sophia. And that first connection wasn't because I like was thrown in it. It's because we stayed on the Skype call, and I showed you guys I was willing. Like I showed you guys like I was open to meet new people. I wanted to work with people. Making those strong connections with the four of you, we created as a group actually Crazy Eight from staying on that Discord late at night. Honestly, like these things weren't handed to me. I was putting the effort in by staying up all these nights, talking to all these people, opening my game to everyone. And then honestly it just and then this social game that I created just went further and further, like making the four person and then just sticking to that the whole way, and then along the way talking to Dalton and Tia and James and Justin and like making all these like honestly like I had a little with everyone along the way, and it's like that just from the beginning, that spark I had, it just helped. Like the creation that I made from the beginning just helped me create these small little bonds with the people along the way, and they weren't handed to me. I did work for them by reaching out to other people.
All right, and Drew.
Okay, I want to start off by saying congratulations to you both. I love you both so much. Two of my favorite people made the end. Okay, so my question is for Dally. Dally, I did tell you that if you made the end, I'd kind of have a hard question for you. Just know I love you no matter what, and I just want you to answer this on a game level. Okay. Dally, coming into this game, we definitely had something that grew while we were here, and I was serious about it, and I know you were too. And it was outside of this game, and you knew how much I cared about this game. And I asked you if you were going to campaign, and you said no. But that didn't stop you. You campaigned anyways. And I just want you to admit that you went behind my back and campaigned and had these conversations that helped you stay in the game. If you don't own that move and you lie to me right now, you will not get my vote.
Okay. Let me start by saying, Drew, we have had this conversation time and time again. I know exactly what you want me to say, and I'm not going to sit here and say it, because here's what I will admit to, okay? I'll admit to the fact that me having conversations with people could have influenced me staying, definitely. I'll take responsibility for that. But I will not take responsibility, like I'm not going to go ahead and own this move because this wasn't my move to own. James is the one, like I told you, James is the one who went ahead and created a group with no one Christian and convinced them to keep me. My intention was never to campaign against you. I told you I wouldn't, and you know I could never do that.
I want you to admit that the conversation you had with James, you knew could affect you staying. Those conversations that you had, and I am seriously sitting here saying, I respect the game move, and I just want you to own that you believe, no excuses, that those conversations that you had led to you staying.
I know that conversations I had a huge influence on it. I realized that. After talking to people, I realized that. But when I talked to people in the beginning, I honestly didn't think that it would escalate that quickly. All I wanted to know was where people's heads were at, and then it really got somewhere else. My intention was never to hurt you. My intention was never to campaign against you or anything like that. So yes, I can sit here and I can tell you that those conversations affected the game. Yes, they did. Maybe you would have been in Final 2 instead of me. But the thing is, I'm not going to completely own the move like you want me to. I've had your back throughout this game, throughout this whole game. I've supported you. I've encouraged you through every single thing. I've been honest with you and stuff. So I'm being honest with you right now. I'm not lying to you. If you think I'm lying to you, then that's your decision to make, and I can't change your mind. But I'm being here, and I'm telling you that yes, those conversations could have affected it, but I will not own up to the fact that I made this move against you. I made this move to campaign against you because that's not what I wanted to do, and that's not what I did. That's what I'm leaving it at.
All right. So thank you, jurors. However, Christian and Dally, you just answered these questions, but you still have a chance to plead your case. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. I didn't have James' name down. James, since you were just evicted and we're not here to perform these questions, you get to ask a final 2 member of your choice any question you'd like. Go ahead.
Okay, Christian, I didn't have much time to think of the question, but after you were evicted unanimously, why did you continue to trust your original alliance?
Because I already knew that they were going to evict me from the beginning, because first of all, I knew that they had a closer connection with Emily, and I was totally fine with that, because yes, I might be seen as being at the bottom, but honestly, I was here to play this game with people who cared about me and who I cared about. And yes, it's like just a game, and yes, they evicted me, but I honestly loved Emily to death, so I was totally okay with leaving with her by my side. But then coming back into the game, I knew who to trust and who didn't. obviously, yes, everyone evicted me, but I knew like who was still gonna be by my side and who wasn't, and obviously, I still use that to my best, and I'm here at the final two compared to you guys who are sitting there.
All right. Thank you, both final two members. However, you now have one final chance to sway the votes of the jury, because right after you plead, they will vote for a winner. And you have a final plea. You are not allowed to read off of anything. I made that clear earlier. So go ahead. Dali, you're up first.
Okay, so I've got quite a bit to say, so bear with me here. I'll try not to like take too long, but I really want to get all of this out. So, first of all, I just want to say like I feel like everyone came into this game to play. Everyone played really hard. It's been like a really fun season with all of you guys, so thank you for that. Getting into the game, when I came into this game, I was seen as a duo with Drew. I was seen as a duo with Sophia. I was seen as almost a duo with Emily. Everyone knew I was really close with Noah. People knew that I was close with people, and I felt like that could have put a target on my back. So right at the beginning of this game, I wanted to make sure that I was good with people, that I created my social connections. That first day, I made sure I talked to absolutely everyone, and we started alliances. I was on this Skype call. Me, Christian, Emily, Sophia, and Ethan. I felt good vibes from all of them, so I was like, hey, okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's create an alliance and stuff, and that started the Skype alliance. Then I also had another alliance going on, me, Mike, Emily, and Drew, 4 of a kind. We stuck strong until Mike left. I had another alliance going on after that because I felt like, yes, big alliances can crumble quite easily in games, but the thing is, I needed to make sure that I had the numbers on my side. I needed to make sure I had the most people on my side as possible, so that's when we created the Crazy Eights Alliance, which consisted of the Skype Alliance and 4 of a kind together, plus Noah and Sophia. People who I trusted, as well as new people who I just met. I also texted Dalton and Tia that first day. Tia, I told you that I hope we can put past games aside and stuff. I genuinely wanted to fix whatever happened between us. Dalton, I texted you because I wanted to make sure we were good. James and Jaya, I texted both of you. I feel like we didn't connect right away, but I feel like we did get to talk more as the game went. I made sure I talked with Justin and TJ. I literally talked to everyone and make sure I was set with every single person. And so I really feel like throughout the game, I have constantly been progressing my social connections. I never stopped talking to people. I always made sure that not even if it wasn't about game, I would sit down and have conversations with people. James, I put you up on my week of HOH. You had every reason not to trust me after that and stuff, but I made sure that I fixed that relationship with you, and you ended up becoming one of my closest allies in this game after that. Justin, I feel like at the beginning of the game, we weren't like super duper close or anything, but I feel like we did have some genuine conversations between us two on Discord and stuff that I really enjoyed, and I feel like that relationship did progress. And with everyone, Dalton and Tia, especially you guys, we didn't like each other before coming into this game, like no, but I genuinely like I love you guys now. I feel like we worked really well together, and I'm so happy that I got to know you guys. Everyone that I met in this game, I'm so happy that I got to work with. And if you look at who I aligned myself with, I didn't just come in here and say, oh, I'm going to stick with my allies and that's it. No, at the end of the day, if you look at it, my main allies were Emily and Drew, who I knew, Christian, who I had just met, James, who I had just met, Dalton and Tia, 2 people who I didn't work well with in the past, and we fixed those relationships. So I didn't just stick with the people that I knew. I mean, Noah and Sophia, I knew them. I was really close with them. Turns out we turned against each other. So I definitely feel like I did have a really good social game. I did have my connections, and that's what helped bring me here. Also, now I want to take a look at my physical game. I know some people say that physical game isn't always like the most important aspect, but I do feel like it played a huge role. I won 8 comps this season. And I'm extremely proud of that because that's a huge amount compared to all the other comp wins from other people and stuff. And I'm proud of myself that I got to do that. A lot of them were also mental comps that I won. So I had to know the game. I had to know what was going on and stuff. I remember this. I studied. I made sure I knew my stuff. And these comp wins, it wasn't like I used them for nothing. My 4 HOH wins, 1 brought me right here to Final 2 where I'm sitting right now. The 3 other ones took out 3 huge threats in the game, Sophia, Zach, and Tia. I didn't waste my HOHs. I used them all successfully. Then the 4 POV competitions that I won, 3 of them were like super duper crucial to my game. There was one of them where had I not won, it was when Sophia and Noah were on the block. It was the slide puzzles. Sophia was right behind me. Had she won that comp, she would have taken herself off. She would not be sitting in jury right now. Maybe she would have, or maybe she'd be in final 2. This whole game would have been different had Sophia gone instead of Noah that time. Then there was the POV comp that brought me to that I won in final 4. I would have been out. If Noah had won that comp, I definitely know he would have taken me out. You wanted to make a deal with me and stuff, but I know, Noah, you would have taken me out. And then there was the other POV comp in final 5. Noah would have won that one also. I looked at the times. He was right behind me. Had he won, he probably would have taken Dalton off the block. Those 2 would have come after me. I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be sitting in jury. So all my comp wins were for something. I feel like I utilized them, and I feel like in certain aspects, like, I needed them because my back was up against the wall sometimes. So I do think that my comp wins did influence the game a lot and did have a big impact on the game. And I could honestly say that I'm really proud of myself that I was able to pull that off. I also want to address the fact that people think that I hid behind Drew or I hid behind the All In Alliance. And I just, I want to address that because, no, I didn't do that. In every single game I play, someone always accuses me of, if I'm playing with Drew, for example, because we're always seen as a duo, someone always accuses me of hiding behind him. But he's Drew. He's a much louder player than I am and stuff. He has this big reputation in the fandom. While meanwhile, I'm more of a quiet player. People like I stay in the background. So obviously people are gonna think that I hid behind, but I did not hide behind him. I stood with him in this game, and I'm every decision that I made in this game, we made them together. Practically every single call that we were in, we were both in those calls. On his HOHs, on my HOHs, we made decisions together in this game. So no, I did not hide behind him. I stood by him throughout this whole game, and we did things together. And so I also want to go over a few of the eviction votes that I feel like I did have an influence on. There was, for example, Justin and James when they were on the block together. The original plan was to get rid of James. That's what people we were supposed to keep Justin. That's what everyone had come up with. And then I was thinking, I was like between Justin and James, I felt like I had created a better relationship with James. He was better to keep for my game, so I brought up the idea of keeping him instead. And after that, we did end up keeping James. We flipped the votes and we kept James instead of Justin. I'm sorry, Justin. I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Then there was also Jaya versus James. That one, a lot of people wanted to keep Jaya. They felt like she was more on their side. They felt like she can be more easily manipulated, but I felt like James was better for my game. That vote ended up tying, and I wasn't even able to vote for that one, but I still made sure that we had the votes to keep James. And what else did I want to say? Oh my gosh, I have so much I want to say, and I want to get it all out. I also want to go over the fact that I was part of a huge duo this game. There were some pretty strong duos in this game. We have to agree on that. There was Dalton and Tia, me and Drew, Noah and Sophia. We were all really big players, and at the end of the day, we all did go after each other and stuff. And I just want to say that at the end of the day, I've managed to get myself here. I'm standing here. I managed to take out every single person who did go after me and Drew. And I got my revenge, and I'm sitting here in final 2, and I feel like after Drew left, people say that you can't play the game without Drew, but I got myself here. I did what I needed to do I won comms, I made deals with people and stuff, so I don't feel like I couldn't play this game without Drew because I know my abilities and I know very well that I can. I've done it in other games, and I feel like I have proved myself and stuff. Well, I want to say so much. I do, however, want to apologize to anyone who I feel like who feels hurt by me or feels like I might have lied to them in this game. That was never my intention. So I am sorry about that. I really, really, really I loved getting to know every single person, and at the end of the day, this is a game, so I hope you can forgive me. What else did I want to say? I just want to end this with saying that I really played my heart out. I gave it everything I had. I took risks in this game. People did approach me with different deals throughout the season. I had Noah who approached me with a deal to, if we both win Final Four POV, we take each other. And I just like, I couldn't do that because I knew that if he was in Final 3 with me, there was a good chance that he could be here instead of me right now. Dalton approached me with a deal also in Final 5. He said that if we keep him that week and stuff, he'll throw the Final 4 HOH and stuff. And I did trust your word. I do think you were being honest about that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just felt at the end of the day it was better for my game if he went because I didn't want to see myself sitting in Final 3 with both Dalton and Noah when I could be sitting here with Christian and James, two people who I felt like had a good chance of taking me to Final 2, two people who I've created really good connections with. And then there's Sophia, who also wanted to make a deal with me when we got mad at each other. She said, you know what,
This is
let's
a
leave
live
each other.
show.
Let's leave each other alone. We don't target each other. We're gonna let Noah and Drew go at each other. If Drew wants to go after Sophia, that's okay. If Noah wants to go after me, that's okay. But me and Sophia, we leave each other alone. And I wasn't gonna take that deal because I want to stick by Drew. Like we went through this game together. So I feel
Allie, we need you to wrap it up.
I'm sorry. Okay, I do feel like I took
Julie
a lot
would
of risks
never.
in this game. I tried my best. I put everything out there, and at the end of the day, I'm proud of the game I played. I'm really, really proud of it. So I'm gonna respect your decisions. It's like I'm just glad that I got the opportunity to play this with you guys. So I love everyone so much. Hope you guys vote for me, but at the end of the day, no hard feelings.
All right. Thank you, Dolly. Christian, you are now up. The floor is yours.
Okay, so mine's obviously not wrong. I just want to say, like, not to get okay. I'm not really prepared for this right now because I'm gonna like share information. Like, I'm not saying this for sympathy votes or anything, but less than 24 hours ago, I was told that my parents are gonna be separating. So I didn't really have time to think about this if I was going to be making the final two or not because I just had so much going on with personal stuff. But like obviously, I'm not begging for like no sympathy or anything because that's not the person I am. Like I just don't like that's like if I seem like why like I'm not really prepared. Don't think like I didn't care about this game at all because I literally since the beginning and getting cast for the game, I put my heart and soul into every single thing I did this season. And honestly, like I'm not gonna like say like obviously Dally deserves to win. I deserve to win. Like honestly, we were talking before we even came to this call that if one of us win, we'd both be happy with each other. So honestly, to start saying why I think I deserve to win is because like I don't know. Like yes, the physical aspect of this game is very important, but honestly, the social game is also just as important to me. The social game I played this season is honestly the best thing I can say I've done in this game. Besides, like, so honestly, I can say coming back was good, but honestly, since coming back into the game, I had the social connections. I did not touch the block to Final Four when I was forced to go up. Like I had no choice but to go up. And honestly, using that social game, ever since I was evicted, I knew every week like what was gonna happen, like who was going up since the final 11, since I came back into the game. And honestly, also with the connections I made with the people around me, I just use that to my advantage every week. Because yes, I might have won the competitions that happened that week, but I used talking to these people to make myself go further into this game. And yes, like honestly, I obviously didn't have most connections, like more connections than I did. I didn't have a duo. I didn't have like all these confidence. But honestly, like I said before, I don't really see those aspects of the confidence stuff being a huge part in picking the winner in this game. Honestly, all I can say is I hope you can vote for me because honestly, yes, I might have voted you out. Yes, I might not have been by your side the whole time, but you cannot say I was there for you personally and socially as like a friend. And honestly, yes, that might not be your number one aspect to see why you should pick a winner in this game. But honestly, I won some competitions. I had more than most people had in the season, besides like Sally and Drew and all them. But honestly, I'm not gonna go on and say why like I should win over her because honestly, I'd fine with either of us winning. I just hope you vote for me out of your heart. I guess I don't know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much to Christian and Dolly. So in just a few moments, we're going to get to the vote. The season is finally going to end literally in the next 5 minutes. But before we do the vote, and I have to pee, so let this final please like
But
Mama, I got
resonate
pee
in your
too.
mind.
Oh shit.
I've
I don't
been
have
holding
to
it
pee.
ever since
Hold
Dali
it.
started.
Wait, Daniel, do you want me to
I
record?
go off.
What?
The recording's at 30 minutes. Do you want me to stop it now before
Yeah,
the rest
stop
of
and
us
redo
again?
it. Just wait till I get back to do
Are
it.
we voting here?